Mandate.
What's up, family? Welcome to another episode of Mandate. My name is Charles, and this is my co-host, Betia Wilson, aka Mad Messenger. And this platform is about having open talanoa around certain issues pertaining to our people and in particular our men. But as a show, we like to explore ways where we can refine who we are as people, unlock our true potential, and take charge of our lives so we can be the best versions of ourselves. And so it's an honor and a privilege to have a very special guest this evening. He needs no introduction, but I'm going to hand it over to Mad Messenger, and he's going to give you a little lowdown about our guest tonight.
Awesome. Thanks, Charles. And you're right, Uzo. He probably doesn't need any introduction, but we're going to do it anyway. And so he is the winner of the UMA Best Male Artist Award in Australasia 2017 Urban Music Awards, joined by the Black Jays Music Group, along the likes of the Cardinal Official, Nina Sky, to name a few. Released 3 solo albums, most recent being 100, debuted at number 14 on the New Zealand charts. He also traveled the world touring, including several Australia legs, New York, Canada, Indonesia, the Pacific Islands. He also toured with Jay-Z, Rihanna, and Neo. Opening act for DMX, Yin Yang Twins, Mobb Deep, Tiger, Jay Sean, and so many, to name a few. He's also the founder of Smash Proof, triple platinum single Brother featuring Jen Wigmore, the gold single Ordinary Life, gold album The Weekend, several VMA awards, the high-selling single and the best video, best group, etc. Several PMA awards, best video, People's Choice, and best single. Also PMA nominee for Best Gospel Artist, founder of TYIC Apparel or Twitch. Yeah, is it Together Walking in Christ?
Yeah, Twick.
Yeah, Twick. Oh yeah, so Twick. Yes, Twick Apparel. So malolo for mo malangi, mama, whakalofa atu ki o koe, kia ora koutou katoa, no mai, haere mai. Welcome to the show, Tyree Tautogia.
What's up, boys? What's up, Fano? What's up, people?
So Mauso.
My son just came in.
Oh, that's the one.
All good.
This is a family show. What's up, buddy? What's your name?
E17.
Oh, you know what? Don't worry about your dad. We'll interview you. Yeah? Is your dad the man?
Yeah, this is Tyree Jr.
What's up, buddy?
So he's my son. He's my youngest. I got 2 girls, and I got my boy. And then 1 second.
All good.
Oh, Gurus, take your time.
Sorry, guys.
No worries. No.
It's all good.
This is real life. We're in lockdown.
Yeah, man.
And the kids are running around. But hey, thank you so much for having me, guys. Beautiful kaupapa that you got here. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Tyree Langa Emusani Tautogia. I should say that in Niue, so whakalufele atu, ke matolo osi, ko hingoa haku ko Tyree Langa Emusani Tautogia, hau he maanga ko Luffy, mutalau la kepa motuapa, and I'm just grateful to be here. I've been born in, I was raised in South Auckland. Everywhere in South Auckland, from Whitty to Otara to Mangere to Papatoe, now currently residing in Manukau or Manuko. I have a beautiful wife, Kirimangu Tautogia, and then I have 3 beautiful kids, Mila, who's 11, Alofa, who's 6, and Tyree, who's 2. That's why he couldn't talk English to you guys. He's actually going to Kohanga Reo, bro, so full immersion. So it's so he's learning te reo as well. Yeah, I'm an artist. I'm a music artist by trade, but then I yeah, I like to express my creativity not in just music, but in apparel. I have a clothing line, Twick, which stands for Together Walking in Christ. And yeah, we'll get into all that, you know, just the origin of it. But yeah, like I said, man, so happy to be here with you guys. And I just honor you guys for thinking of me to come on your show. And yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome, man.
Oh, my, also, thanks for the introduction, brother. And it's really cool to have you as our guest and get to know the man behind Twick and also who the real Tyree is. So, thank you again. But bro, I'm gonna take us through some rapid fire questions. Is that all good? Just to get to know you a little bit more. And yeah. And so whatever comes to mind, just we'll just go off the top. And we'll just start with something simple as what's your favorite drink?
Coke Zero.
Rugby union or rugby league?
League, rugby league.
Favorite league team, NRL team?
Oh man, it was the Parramatta Eels, bro, for so long, but you know how they've been performing. But yeah, Parramatta all day, bro.
Nice. Okay, this is an important question. State of origin, Queensland or New South Wales?
I'm wearing the wrong color today, but hey, Queensland all day, bro.
You can stay. When are you most productive?
Most productive in my sleep, bro.
Nice.
Get a lot of things done.
Who is your inspiration and why?
I think my inspiration, I've got many, bro. I've got a few, but the one that always comes to mind is my mom. She just taught me how to serve. She taught me how to be selfless, and she just loves hard. You know, just that's what she taught me. Love hard and serve, and you know, put people before yourself. Selfless.
Love that. What's something new happening in your life right now?
Mandates.
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
I love that. How do you start your day?
Just go for a 5K run. Depending on how I'm feeling, I can push it more or go less. I don't know. Just I just find that running is the best way to start my day.
Let's rep your high school. So what high school did you get to?
You already know, bro. You came to my high school, bro. You came to visit. You remember? Your Tyler's Nicholas. What's up?
Yeah. For those that don't know, I was a musician back in the day, but I didn't get the call up for Smash Proof. But yeah, shout out to Papatoy High.
Yeah.
And what subject were you worst at school?
Worst?
Yeah.
Probably maths, man.
What was your favorite? What were you best at?
I don't know, music.
I'm just gonna pause real quickly because when we came for those music stuff, I used to play an instrument. What were you playing? I'm just sure you were there for the girls. Okay, now we'll carry on. Just rapid fire. Sorry to throw you under the bus. What advice would you give yourself, your 20-year-old self?
Oh man, I don't want to get too deep, but I've thought about this before, you know, and it comes back to, and I don't know if I would have listened, but I would have said, love yourself, forgive yourself, and love yourself.
Wow, that's deep. That's mean. Sure.
We'll get into that. We'll unpack that.
Yeah, hard. What scares you?
What scares me? The safety of my kids. That's what scares me, and me not being in control of that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's powerful. When the borders open up, which country are you hitting first?
Oh man, I'm going back to Rara straight away.
Love that.
Yeah, or hopefully they will let me in.
Are we going to talk about that or not? What's something that you do not like doing?
Cleaning.
Yeah.
But I do it, bro. I do it. But I don't want to do it, but I do it.
What's something you enjoy doing?
Eating.
Awesome. What is
Brings me so
success
much
for you?
joy.
What is success for you?
Success for me would be to see my kids have salvation. That's true success for me.
Nice. Among your day ones, what's the nickname they give you?
You thought this out, didn't you? They call me either Blackie or Skin.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me why, bro.
All right. So what is the nickname? What is the nickname your wife gives you?
Oh, Big Papa. Come on, bro. This.
I'm not gonna ask why. What is your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory was growing up in our poor home. There was 14 of us. It was my nana's house actually, but I spent most of my time there. And there was 14 of us little cousins, first cousins, and then about 8 adults in this one house. There was only one toilet, one bath. There was no shower. So that bath was black, man. You know, like it was black, stained. And you know, even though that we were poor, we didn't have much. It was just some of the best memories together. You know, this is when we didn't have games. You know, this is when we were outside every day, exploring, getting up to mischief. Yeah, those are the best days.
That's cool. So when are you happiest?
What's the time now? 7, probably 8 o'clock when I'm on the couch watching Netflix.
Sicky. Nearly done, bro. Fill in or finish off the sentence. Vulnerability is
Honesty.
Men need to
Talk.
I love it. Wives need to
Love more.
What's something that people often get wrong about you?
That I'm not that I'm intimidating. Totally not.
What's the last show on Netflix that you binged on?
Oh man, jeez, there's been so many oofs. I think it was the Midnight Mess.
Midnight Mess. I'll look into that one.
Bro, like honestly, I'm one of those guys that if I invest into something, like if I'm five deep or even 2 or 3 deep, I have to finish it.
Man, how many seasons? 5?
Nah, there was about 9 episodes, but I think it was around the 4th episode. Like it just turned into a vampire, like sort of like it was godly. It was just all, it was like awesome. He started performing miracles, and then Dracula came along, and I'm like, oh. But then I'm invested. I have to finish it.
Sicky. Last question, brother. What are you deeply grateful for right now?
I'm just grateful to be here, bro. Here today, not here in this interview, just alive. Yeah,
That's me. Thank you, brother. Well, that's your rapid fire questions. There's some questions will have to return to, but thanks, Us.
Yeah, awesome, man, Tyree. Also as well, Tyree, because we always ask every guest that comes on the show, in terms of lockdown, how have you been in terms of like, and I'm not talking about physically, or more so mentally. Also, how has this lockdown been different from the previous ones? I know we're on our 5th lockdown. I know this is going on to the 11th week. How have you been mentally, and how have you been coping thus far?
I've been good, bro. Like there's been moments where I've really felt overwhelmed, but I think for the most part, I've been good. But, it's just too long now. Like, it's gone on way too long. And I'm just, I think it's turned to frustration. Like it was fun at first, like it was cool. We were getting, at home, working from home, getting full pay. And then, that honeymoon phase just started wearing off. And it's like, man, I'm in the social sector, bro. So I work with youth. I got like 26 kids. And although it was cool for me and my family to be home together in the start, it's starting to really affect me that I can't see my kids and really be face to face and working with these kids. And plus, these kids are reoffending because of all these restrictions, and there's no face to face, there's no real mentorship, And so I think for the most part I've been good, but it's just turned into frustration as of late, as of the last 3 weeks.
That's cool.
Charles, thanks for sharing that. Has there been any part of lockdown that you've been really grateful for?
Oh, absolutely. There's heaps, man. There's heaps of things that I'm grateful for lockdown. One of the most important things for us was the busyness of life. Because I stay-at-home dad with my son. That's the first child that I stayed home with. And so I really got to spend some time with him, like really solid, father-son time. That's my first boy. And then, it's been cool for us to both be working now, me and my wife, but then, that makes life busy. We get home, we're rushing dinner, we're trying to catch up with the kids, but then we're tired. So in that respect, for us to be home together, it's been beautiful for my family to spend time, especially after that busy season, and then slow down. It was funny because, we prayed to God that, because, one of the biggest enemies of life is busyness. That's one of the weapons that the devil uses as well. Get you busy, you take your eyes off the prize, and next thing you know, you're going the wrong way. So for us to pray for time, and then the lockdown happens, I thought it was God answering our prayers, bro.
Yeah.
I thought, my God is so big that he's like, okay, son, I'll shut down the country for you. Here you go.
That's me. That's an awesome that's a good way of looking at it, eh? And God didn't call us to be busy, he called us to be fruitful. So using this time, there's the Māori term that a lot of people have been using, calling lockdown rahui. So it's more of a restoration and a space of resting. So yeah, I love that, bro. I love what you've just shared. So in terms of like the frustrations you've had during lockdown, how do you cope? What are some coping mechanisms that you've used to deal with the frustration?
Yeah, that's interesting, bro. That's interesting because it's hot and cold. So in the beginning, it felt like a holiday. So I was eating a lot. I started this lockdown. I had abs and I was fit, and so I didn't train for the first 4 weeks of lockdown, and I could really see myself getting to that point, like I was starting to feel ugly about myself. Could see myself really getting out of shape, every week that went by. And then, there was a turning point where I was like, nah, enough is enough, And so I got a whole bunch of gym gear from different people. They all donated, some people gave me plates. My brother gave me a bar. My oos came and dropped off a frame for the weight to, what are they called? They're like weight frames or whatever. And then now I've got a whole gym.
Nice.
So at first it was the frustrations was, it wasn't really frustration. It was like a holiday, So I was enjoying it, eating, whatever. And then I started feeling bad about eating. that was what, you know, and it started making me frustrated. So I did something about it. I started exercising again, man, and I found that for me, working out, man, is such a huge part of my mental health. You know, it really levels me. You know, like in terms of like the positive feeling that I get after working out. If I go for a 5K run, I come home and I feel good. You know, and I'm ready to smash it. I find that if I don't work out or run, then I start feeling, you know, all the little things start getting to me, you know, and then, so yeah, I got to be conscious about that and really keep on pushing that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I can imagine, Tyree. You're right, man. I think a lot of people have been kind of feeling the same way in terms of, you know, you start a challenge or you go do some fitness and you do a lot of running and all that kind of stuff. But once lockdown kind of came about, it's just exercise and training went out the window.
Yeah,
yeah, it's just true, bro. And I know how you feel. But I did want to ask you, bro, because I know you mentioned that you're a stay-at-home dad now. Are you still a stay-at-home dad, or are you? You said you're looking after your son. How's that? How's that? Like, I can imagine from being the musician, the artist, and then all of a sudden kind of stay-at-home dad. How's that been in terms of transition?
I was a stay-at-home dad for almost 2 years.
Wow. And
then I got Issue Feet Pro. You know, so I'm working now. So I'm working. I'm a youth mentor at Judicious Youth Trust. And you know, it was funny because that was the first job that I applied for. You know, being a stay-at-home dad, and that's the first job that I got. So I was like, oh, me, that's God. You know, I prayed for a Christian organization. I prayed for a Christian team. And then what do you know? God is good, man.
That's me.
Yeah.
What does okay, now we'll ask that after. We'll talk about the working with youth offenders, but I just sort of want to touch base on like some of your highlights as a musician. And I know that's highly documented, but then also transitioning into this new season that you're in, this one of working in the community. What's that whole journey been like for you?
Oh man, bro, where do we start, bro? You know, it's you know, I traveled the world of music. You know, I've seen the highs of music and also the lows. You know, so the transition, I think it was long overdue. You know, so for me, I've been to the pinnacle heights of music. You know, like with Smash Records, we were like, at one point, me and the crew were like the Beatles of New Zealand. Everywhere that we went, bro, like little girls running after the car. You know, you autograph, please. And it was like that for so many years, you know. And so when you get caught up in that life, and for me, I had put my identity into that. You know, I had put my identity into music. So when you do that, bro, you find that when you put your identity into something so shaky, you're constantly like this, man, who am I? Oh yeah, you're at the top. Yes, that's who I am. Things start fading away and things aren't working out. You don't know who you are anymore. And it's like, that was my whole career for 16 years. You know, and so although it was awesome and I got some cool stories, it was empty. I was empty, you know. And yeah, like, you know, like touring with Jay-Z, Rihanna, and Neo, you know, being in the green room with Neo, eating with him, all the like meeting Akon, doing songs with him, and like all that stuff is cool, but just doesn't really matter, man. It doesn't really matter, you know. Like the most important thing to me is my family, and obviously the role that I'm in now, and I get to work with youth. Yeah, I believe it was long overdue. and to be, you know, to come from those massive heights in the music, and to come now in a solid foundation, you know, there's no comparison, bro. I can tell you that right now. There's no comparison.
That's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful. What was it hard to walk away from that space of hip hop and being recognized as, you know, one of the highest, you know, being at the highest pinnacle of music and status? Was it hard to walk away from it?
Yeah, bro. Don't get me wrong. You know, like the flesh always wants glory, eh? You know, and I think one of the things that I missed was everyone singing my songs on stage. You know, I'll be on stage performing, and when the chorus comes on, I'll go like that. I'll go like that. You know, to the audience, and they're like singing my songs, glory, 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 you know, like, and then the money was mean, like, you know, like I'd get paid so much money for like 20 minutes work. And, you know, they put us up in hotels, dinners, drinks, whatever. It's all good. And, you know, like, you know, there's a part of me that, you know, that the human side of me, I miss that sometimes. But that's the thing, bro. When you know who you are, you realize that, you know, that stuff, it doesn't matter. That's all superficial stuff, bro.
Wow.
That's me.
Wow.
So yeah, don't get me wrong, bro. It was hard at first, you know, especially you know, going from that to not getting any money, you know, not having a job, feeling inadequate as a man, because you're not providing, you're not contributing, and so yeah, there was many aspects of that season that was hard. But hey, it's all good. We grow, eh? We learn and we grow.
Oh man, that's crazy, Tyree. That's crazy. Just like you just, 'cause I can imagine some of the young men, most of the young guys, like, wow, who kind of coming up and who are really talented. And you probably know a lot of young men who are talented and hip hop and rapping and the music industry. And what kind of advice could you give someone like for a young man or young person kind of coming up in the scene in terms of music and getting into the music industry and being aware of all these things that you have seen? You mentioned the good and the bad, and maybe even the ugly. You're like, man. And so for a young cat, it's like, man, I want to get into the industry, you know, and like you're saying, and they may not even know who they really are in terms of identity. What kind of advice could you give some of our young men who may be going into this, stepping into this industry kind of blindly? What could you give them in terms of helping them to be aware?
Oh man, you know, it's a hard one, eh? Because like a lot of these, especially rappers, they're really stubborn, eh? Because they already know, they know what they want to be. You know, they want to be the baddest rapper. They want to talk about all the baddest things. But my advice to them would be just be true to yourself. You know, and that really would sum it up. Because a lot of these rappers coming up are rapping about the same thing. They're rapping about, you know, gangs, I don't know, girls and all that scene, money, drugs, whatever. You know, like that's not who they are. You know, like when I say be true to yourself, take it back, man. Get back to your roots. You know, like talk about some real stuff that everyone goes through. You know, like don't just conform. You know, stand out. You know, we were born to. You know, we can't fit in if we were born to stand out. Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Sure. So that's me. Even my spirit was like, whoa. That's it. What was the turning point for you? Like, was there a moment of where you hit rock bottom, and then, man, because you talk about like you had all these accolades and it was and everything was high, but then you also felt empty. Was there a rock bottom moment for you, or were you always in search of something greater?
Yeah, there was many rock bottoms, bro. Like at one point, I thought I was the man at rock bottoms because I would always rise above the game, and that was, you know, like even studying my new identity. Well, back then, in my muscles, in my tattoos, you know, I that was the result of a rock bottom. So I hit rock bottom You know, people were saying, oh, you should give up, whatever, you know, like, and my boys would even joke about it. You know how boys are like, they tell the harsh truth and they go, nah, jokes, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, true, bro. Yeah,
I'll tell the harshest truth and then go, nah, jokes, I'm joking, bro. You know, like, but, you know, like many years of that, like it starts weighing on you. And so I went to the gym. I had enough. I went to the gym. I got tatted up, you know, and I thought that was the answer. You know, I changed the sonics of my music, the sound of my music. I went, you know, club bangers were strictly club bangers. And then, you know, I was ripped up and muscly. And then, boom, rock bottom again, you know. It was cool because, you know, I worked myself up, you know, and, you know, I was doing great things. I was touring. I think there was like 3 years in a row where I had like 50 dates in Australia, just touring, like flying every weekend, party, paid, and empty again, rock bottom. And then I tried to, so it was just years of that. I would always just, you know, hit rock bottom, then come back, hit rock bottom, then come back. But the biggest turning point for me was 2018 to 2019. I started really getting heavily involved with meth.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, although I was always dabbling in drugs before that, like drugs and alcohol, cocaine, MDMA, you know, anything really that would get me high. Meth is the one that will take your soul, bro.
Wow.
Meth is the one that will erase your moral compass.
Wow.
Everything good about you, meth will just eat that, dissolve that. And so I spent about a good year and 4 months heavily addicted to meth. I was selling it. You know, I was out in the streets, hanging out with like, bro, presidents of gang members, bro, at their table, you know, doing meth. So I did a lot of messed up stuff, you know, to the community, you know, in terms of selling that stuff as well. Bro, my day consists of dropping off the kids and just posting up at a pokey bar in Rewa until it was time to pick them up.
Wow.
And, you know, in between that, I'll just go sell, you know, get a text, sell, get a text, go sell, you know, come back to the pokies. And I was such a loser. Like, honestly, like when I think about it now, it just makes me a little bit sick because that's where my life had got to, you know, and that was the result of me hitting the rock bottom, you know, and I remember hitting rock bottom. I was like 30, whatever I was, like 33, 34. And I had this lush music career. You know, the accolades, I have it all. Like I got triple platinum, double platinum, triple platinum plaques, but I just didn't have anything to show for it at 34. And for a man who has this awesome career, awesome line of accolades, for a man to feel inadequate, it's, bro, at 34, it really takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on your mind, your heart, your soul. And so I got heavily involved with that stuff, you know, and man, I just remember like it just got to a point where I was hurting everyone around me, you know, I was hurting my wife. Man, I remember coming home one morning and she was just crying, you know, she was like, what are you doing? She didn't know that I was on it. I had kept it a secret. And she was like crying, you know, she was on her knees and I remember, I wasn't in my right mind, but I remember this pivotal moment where she was on her knees, pregnant with my son, bro. So she's hapu as, and she was just crying out to God. She was like, God, why, you know?
Awesome.
And, you know, sure enough that I didn't change then, but it was all those things were contributing to me feeling useless, you know. And when you are an addict, it's easy to be a victim. Everything's too hard. Oh, you don't know what it's like to walk on my shoes. You don't know what it's like to be the man for 16 years, tour the world, and then have nothing. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to be me. And I was the victim. I was the victim for so many years, you know. And during that season, I just had enough. You know, I saw my kids. They weren't having a present father. You know, I wasn't because I knew in my heart of hearts that I wasn't a good father to them. You know, me in that season was buying them stuff because I didn't have time to spend with them. You know, buying my wife stuff because I didn't have time to spend with her. I was just out there being a loser. And it just got too much for me, bro. It just got way too much for me. And that rock bottom, out of all the rock bottoms, man, that's the first time I ever wanted to leave, eh?
Wow.
Yeah. And so that was the pivotal turning point, bro. I you know, I remember, you know, formulating the plan, writing down the letter to my family. And then, you know, God, bro, it's crazy how God works, man. I remember writing the end of the letter, and I cried out to God one last time, and I said, God, please help me, you know, like take me out of this, you know, just one last cry, man. And then he sends his angel, bro. He sent my wife's best friend to come and check up on me. You know, she just came to check up on me. She had discerned that something was wrong with me. And I promise you, bro, if she didn't turn up, bro, I would not be here.
Wow.
Straight up. If she did not turn up, bro, she packed her baby. She just had a newborn baby. She packed her baby in the car, my little nephew, Elias, packed him in the car and just came to my house, you know. And man, I can never be... I would never be able to repay her, bro. Like, well, I don't think she knows what she's done. But yeah, that was the moment. You know, that was the moment where I said, God, if you take me out of this, I'll give you everything. I'll give you my life. And when he sent her, everything changed. Everything changed, and I gave him everything. I gave him my life, and bro, we're here today, man.
Oh, what a testimony, Tyree, man. You make it a sentimental, bro. But it is because I didn't even know Tyree. Like I didn't even know, like, because I know you as the artist, as the musician, the hip hop artist, the rapper. And just recently, oh man, Tyree's so he's a believer. He's a Christian. He's out there for the Lord, doing all these things for the Lord. And I think you're doing some. I had a good chat with a good mate of mine called Robert R. Chong.
Oh, yo.
Yeah. And we were just talking. He mentioned you. Hey, man. He's, bro. And he said you guys are going to the same church at one time. I'm not too sure. And so he goes, yeah, bro. And I said, well, I know Tyree. But bro, just what a testament, man. What testimony, bro. Because I know a lot of guys who are watching this, and the viewers, men in particular, watching this, are probably thinking, okay, that's Tyree's story. But they want to know, and I think they're curious as to how did you do it, Tyree? What are some of the changes, like the physical changes or the mental changes you had to make to refine yourself? If you can touch on that, what's some of the things that you had to do to refine yourself, but more so to change and to get back into to finding who you are?
I guess for me, bro, you know, from that moment with my wife's best friend, it wasn't one of those moments where it was like this, boom, God zapped me, I'm a new man, hallelujah. Nah, bro, no way. That was the start. And for me, the more that I seek this face, the more that I really went after him, you know. I literally went after him. The more he revealed himself to me. And there was this one time I was with my Dutch friend on his farm. This was a week before I went to rehab, bro. I was on the farm with him, and he was keeping some information he was keeping his opinion from me. And then it got to the point where I was like, bro, just tell me, bro. And he was like, nah, Ty, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. And I was like, bro, just tell me. And at this time, we were like doing the cows, trying to make the cows go from one paddock to another. It's hard to do that, by the way, man. Like on the farm work is hard. And then so I was like asking him, like for a good like 2 or 3 hours. And then he turned around and he was like, you really want to know, Ty? And I was like, yeah, of course I want to know. He was like, you don't want to change. You just want to come here, tick the box, make your wife happy, make everyone happy. Woohoo! And I was like, bro, I remember just being so flustered. I wanted to smash him. Honestly, I really wanted to smash him. And, I went back into that victim. I was like, bro, you don't know what it's like. You think you know me? Da, 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 da. And then, bro, at that moment, everything went like this. Boom.
Wow.
And it was the Holy Spirit, bro. Like that really, it just clicked, bro. And this the spirit of peace and this revelation just fell on me. And it was for the first time in my life, man, I knew who I was.
Wow.
So I honestly didn't know I had been looking for this,
Wow.
all my life, I thought I found it many times, I thought I found it in my image. I thought I found it in my music. But for the first time in my life, on my 34 years on this earth, I knew who I was. And so everything dropped off me, man. Everything that I had been trying to get validation for, I was trying to be validated in all these wrong places by the money, by the streams, by the fame, by the way out my image, just dropped off. And I just knew I was a son of God. And at that moment, man, everything just made sense, bro. And I was just like, and I just looked at him, I said, you're right. And I just remember being on that farm, and the one thing that the biggest piece to the puzzle that I had been looking for, I got from that week, and that was identity, true identity. And so for me, bro, like when you ask me what helped me, that was it. It was seeking his face. And I know that, there's probably some people that will watch this and then they'll be like, oh, nah, I don't believe in God. Okay. And I challenge you to seek your identity. There's like, this is the thing that I ask myself. Who is Ty without music? Who was Ty without his kids? Who was Ty without his wife? Who was Ty without money? So I ask you guys the same thing. Who are you? If you strip back everything, who is the person that you are? And then so when you can find out who you are minus all that stuff, bro, you're in the right direction. You're in the right way to discovering who you are, your true identity. And I just believe that once you know who you are, man, that's the foundation that you need to like move forward and smash it. Like when you're, it's like it says in the Bible way, the man who built his house on sand. And that was me for so many years. I had built my own empire, my kingdom on sand. Every time the water came, boom, my kingdom was like gone, And so for me, when I found identity, I was the man who built his house on solid foundation, on rock.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it doesn't have to be like with God. Like I know that there's some people who are really anti-God, but I challenge you then, find out who you are, strip back everything. Who are you, And I guarantee you'll be in the right way. You'll be in the right space to really just move forward, man.
Wow. Sorry, Tori. When you said you strip yourself back and all that, are you saying that when you realized your true identity was like you're nothing, you felt like you're nothing without God? Yeah, so true.
Bro, straight up.
So true.
Straight up. Like honestly, man. And there's like been so many of my friends who, they don't believe in God. And then that's why I always tell them, okay, then so who are you then? Who are you? You know, who are you without your job?
Wow.
You know, and then that's when we can go back to our culture. You know, we can go back to our lineage. You know, like, you know, that's and really find out the people that we came from. You know, I can guarantee you, everyone in our community in New Zealand comes from a great line, a great lineage. You know, maybe there hasn't been a great father, your father, but I can guarantee you, if you trace it back, there was a great man in your line, or great woman in your line. You know, so we come from greatness. Somewhere along the way, you know, and you know, the world is crazy. You know, we go the wrong way. You know, we make the wrong decisions. But you know, I think if we find out who we truly are, man, we can smash this place. You know, smash life, smash our goals.
Woo!
Let's
go. So I also just want to honor you for just firstly just sharing what you've shared, because it's quite a deep part of who you are and part of your journey, and it wouldn't have been easy. And just want to thank you just showing us, Ty. And yeah, so I just want to ask you, just how fast or how quickly did the people around you vanish when you made the transition?
all your good mates.
Yeah. You know, when I think about it, man, you know, some of my closest friends, you know, that I thought that actually, man, it's still a bit raw now, you know, because yeah, there were people in my life that I thought that were day ones, you know, and they would ride with me forever, but they disappeared, bro. And then, you know, like, it's all good now because I forgive them, totally forgive them, but it still hurts, you know. Still hurts when I think about it.
That's real.
And you know, yeah, obviously the people that you thought that were you know, there's those people, you know, your day ones you get hurt over, and then there's other people, you know, that just around you because you're the shit, and then they're flies.
Yo.
And when you don't smell anymore, you like that poo that when it turns white.
That's a good analogy, bro. And I guess even in that, it might have exposed who your real ones were.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
you know, I believe that God took me through that to cull a lot of people.
Cool.
You know, because now, man, like, I'm doing life with people that I didn't expect. You know, one of the brothers that I just met 2 years ago, he's now one of my closest friends. You know, and like a brother that's always been there. He's like, bro, like my brother. You know, he's like my blood brother. He's like that close to me. You know, and it's like God revealed those men in my life. Had I not gone through what I went through, I would still be, you know, like as good as the company that I kept.
Ooh.
You know,
Wow.
but now, like, man, I'm loving life, you know, and I just, you know, as iron sharpens iron, we sharpen each other. And that's why I love the brothers that I have in my life today, because they're the ones that will be in the valley with me, but also would be at the mountaintop as well. And everything in between. You know, a lot of my friends were on the mountaintop. That's where they were. You know, as soon as I dropped down, I don't know, probably still there, bro.
Well, that's a powerful testimony also. Oh, shucks. Just went out my head. Sorry, Us.
No. Yeah, so I believe everything happens for a reason, bro. You know, our God is a sovereign God. You know, He's the man, and He lets you go through all this stuff, knowing that we're going to use it for His greatness. You know, for His good. What the enemy meant for evil way, God will turn it around for our good. And I believe that He's done so many things in my life, and just kept on refining me. You know, not even me as a man, but even my surroundings. He refined. You know?
Yeah. That's powerful.
Yeah, it's honestly, man, it's been a beautiful journey. It's been a beautiful journey.
Yeah, I saw on one of your social media posts a couple of weeks ago that you celebrated 2 years. Was it 2 years of sobriety?
Yeah, let's go.
Bro, let's celebrate that, bro. And share to our viewers about it.
Yeah, so well, a little bit over 2 years. I remember October the 16th, 2019, I started rehab on 16, 17, 18, 19 on the 20th. So my last use of meth before I went to rehab.
Wow.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy because if I didn't get into rehab, if my wife dropped me off to rehab and I didn't get in because you have to get tested when you go into rehab.
Oh wow.
First thing that they do, obviously you have to do all the pre stuff, every Mondays and Fridays. I think it's like a 4 to 6 weeks long. And they tell you when you actually get your start date and you go in and you don't pass that test, the urine test, they send you straight home. And so my last use was like 3 days before. And I remember just drinking a whole bunch of water. And then I passed. And, I just haven't looked back since. I did rehab. I met a lot of amazing people. It was there at rehab that I think it was the 26th of November 2019. And we were doing the spiritual thing. Every morning we go to the church, and then we sit in a circle and we share an inspiring quote. And I remember it was the 26th of November 2019. That morning, I went in there. So this was like about my 7th week at rehab. Went in there, and like I said, prior to this, I've been chasing them. I've been seeking them. The Bible says, if you seek me with all your heart, you will find me. You know what I mean? And so, like at this point, I've been seeking them. I wasn't seeking them hard, but I was seeking them. You know what I mean? And then on the 26th of November, the spirit of the spirit of peace just fell on me, and I heard God say to me, "Well, look at this! It's God calling out." Yo, God, what's up? I'm just
good timing, man. Good.
And then so the spirit of peace just fell on me, bro, and I swear I heard God's voice, audible voice, saying, "It's okay, son. It's time to forgive yourself."
Ooh.
Bro, honestly, and I started crying. Like this was like in the morning. Everyone's looking at me, and I just had tears running down my eye, and they were like, "Bro, you okay? You okay, bro?" Because that was like one of the last pieces to the puzzle.
Wow.
Was that self-forgiveness,
That's
and when
tough,
bro, it's crazy because I didn't know that I needed that.
Wow.
Part of the steps of recovery is you have to make an amends with everyone that you've done wrong to. I did that. I made amends. I sent out a mass text and I just said, "I'm so sorry." I'm so sorry if I've ever hurt you. Anyone that I might have little hurt. So I did all that, but then I didn't make amends with myself. That was the last piece, and I didn't think I needed to. And bro, I just had that self-forgiveness was a huge thing for me because what happened from there was self-love for the first time, bro.
Wow.
And I'm not talking about a substance love because we can give ourselves substance, we can give ourselves alcohol and make us feel good. That's not the self-love I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. You really love the person that you see in the mirror. Love.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So it was like that self-forgiveness. I forgave myself, and that just automatically led to self-love. And I think that was the biggest thing that I took away from rehab was just loving myself. Loving the man that I was. I didn't have anything, nothing to show for my career. I've been through all this, I was fuck am I going to rehab because of what everyone may have thought, and I didn't care. I love myself.
Wow.
I love myself. And so I just haven't looked back ever since those. You know, I'm drug and alcohol free for 2 years now, two and a bit. And I don't have any plans on celebrating by getting horsed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I joke around with my wife. I'm like, babe, should we celebrate? She could get a boxing. But nah, yeah. So I didn't have any desire. You know, I believe that, and this is another thing too. Like performing on stage, it was very rare. I can probably name all the times on one hand where I was sober for my performances in 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was always like under something, alcohol, drugs, whatever. And so these last 2 years, when I've been asked to go and share my testimony or perform at events, church, or just shows, I've been sober every time.
Wow.
And that was huge for me. At first, it was uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. But now it's become normal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it, man.
Wow.
I can just be my true self, you know. I don't need to hide behind the mask of being tipsy on stage, you know. It's all a mask, eh?
That's cool. Love your testimony.
Just too much, bro. Too much, bro. I can imagine, Ty, that a lot of the men who may be watching this, and they're probably in this, I don't know, some of them might be in the same predicament in terms of forgiving themselves or haven't forgiven themselves. For you to share that, man, it could be that's real life changing for a lot of the men. Like, man, and because you've been through a lot, and it's not like you've been through. It's just it's not like one of those stories. Like, oh, okay, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's a normal story. live in the hood.
Yeah.
Grew up in the hood, family specific story, but your story is quite remarkable in terms of the whole being up there, like you said, the pinnacle of being one of the best rappers in Aotearoa, but even Australasia, and even worldwide. People know who you are, and for you to share those things and to go through those things, and like, man, I've been through some real shit, but man, I've been able to kind of see my way through and see the light at the end of the tunnel, and be able to break free and do these things. Oh, that's powerful, man. That is really powerful for you to even share that. Like, because bro, I just kind of we don't even know each other. Yeah, I know you know Charles, but for you to even share that, it's like, bro, there's no fucking mask. Like, no, I just share with whoever, and it's just really empowering also to hear that, bro. Man, kudos to you, man. Man, thank you heaps. But also as well, Ty, just because you talk about your performing with your new tracks and all that. Tell us a little bit about your new album or new music or new projects that are up and coming or coming in the future.
Yeah, so before I get into that, I just want to revisit just what you were talking about just before that. That self-love thing. You know, I feel my spirit needs to talk into this.
Yeah,
speak into this.
Good, man.
You know, we all, like, there's a lot of us that feel inadequate because we come from a Pacific upbringing. You know, there's a lot of responsibility for some of us, you know, as men, to feed the family or to always give to mom and dad, or there's that aspect, and then there's the aspect of we've made too many mistakes. We've made wrong choices. Every time that we've got into a relationship, it's ended bad because of me. I messed it up. I effed up. And so whatever your situation is, even if it's been 100,000 times you've messed up, man, you need to forgive yourself in order to move forward. You know, you're not defined by the choices that you made in the past. You're not defined by decisions that you made. You're not defined by the responsibility that was put onto you at such a young age. Now you feel inadequate as a man. You know, that traditional stuff, you know, especially in the island way. You're not defined by the environment that you were brought up in. You're not defined by the cards life dealt to you when you were born, you know, the family that you were born into. I just want to speak into this, man. Like, there's a lot of there's a lot of men and women that are holding on to that, like it's all my fault, you know, and so they carry they carry that mama, you know, into their adolescence, and before you know it, they're like, you know what, man, there's some like people that are 40, 50 still carrying this stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And before you can really move forward, man, you gotta really forgive yourself. You gotta look in the mirror and forgive yourself. And I know it sounds cliche and it sounds like it's easy to do, but it's the only way. It's the only way if you really wanna move forward. You gotta forgive yourself, because from forgiveness comes love. You know, and when you forgive yourself, you start loving yourself again. And so that just, honestly, man, like for me, that was the biggest piece. You know, it was one of the last pieces to come all together to move forward. You know, if I love myself, then I'm gonna be the best dad. I'm gonna be the best husband. I'm gonna be the best brother. You know, if I truly love myself. If I don't love myself and I'm out there just self-destructive behaviors, that's what I was doing for the last 16 years, you know, because I didn't love myself.
Wow.
I would go out there, get a horse, come back home. My wife is like, where you been? You know, it's daylight. I left in daylight. You know, I left, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so we end up like harboring all that. We end up harboring all that. We're useless. We're not worthy. Hey.
Yeah.
And so when we finally get to a place where we can sit down and forgive ourselves, you know, obviously ask for forgiveness from everyone else as well, because that helped me too. It helped me to make amends with everyone that I hurt. And then the last piece of the puzzle was making amends with yourself. And then you start loving yourself again, man. So, yeah, I encourage you, man. You know, there's a lot of mama that, you know, a lot of people are holding on to today that probably wasn't even theirs in the first place, you know? Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of trauma from the past. Could be from their parents, could be from decisions they made, but yeah, forgive yourself, man. That's the only way to move forward, and then that will just progress to loving yourself. So anyway, man, so let's talk about this music.
Preach!
Preach it, man.
Got to churches.
So yeah, let's do musicals. To answer your question, brother. Yeah, so I've been doing Christian music. I'm a Christian artist now. You know, that's been an interesting journey as well. You know, I used to always get played on, you know, my Favour, all these radio stations. As soon as I started releasing gospel music, the only station that touches me is New FM. So shout out to New FM, man, for playing truth music.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, bro. It's been good, man. It's finally, you know, I get enjoyment. You know, the thing that I think about now is what is the legacy that I want to leave with my kids, you know? In 10 years' time, when they play daddy's music, what are they going to listen to? You know, what am I saying? What message what message am I saying, you know? So that's the kind of level that I'm at now. And it could be that I'm getting older. But then I put it down to my purpose. You know, I'm walking in my purpose.
Wow.
You know, I'm walking in my truth.
Wow.
And so I have been always walking in my purpose. But it wasn't for my glory. It wasn't for his glory. Hey,
yeah.
I was walking in my purpose that God made for me and for my own glory.
Yeah.
I was building my own kingdom. Now I'm walking in the same path, music-wise, but for his glory. You know what I mean? And so the music has changed. The music is different. It's you know, I still, you know, there's a part of me that is calling me back to the secular realm, secular space. And I've got plans, you know, I've got plans. I want to.
Let's go.
Oh, wow, man.
So instead of coming in here and say, Jesus, 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 you know, and like, there's a way you can do it, Oos. There's a way you can really hide the message, you know, and it's all about, it comes back to the intent of your heart.
Yeah.
You know, you pray on it before you write. You have that intent to talk about truth that can move people in the spirit. Because music is spirit as well.
Cool.
You know, if you listen to a really violent song, you're gonna your spirit is violent.
Yeah.
You listen to a love song, you feel all sicky, and you know, there's so many. There's spirits attached to music, man.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's my thing now. I want to like really get my heart right with these songs, you know, and put the intent of my heart through this music.
Love that.
Yes.
That's cool. Someone that does that really well in the secular is Lecrae.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it would be cool to see the next season for you also. And I can't wait to hear some of these bangers. I listen to a lot of your music because you know, when I can't express myself in my own words, it's always music and other people's lyrics that I use to express myself. So like when we're going through things, I always listen to Survivor. Or like when we're thinking about our young people, I'm breaking chains and stuff like that, and even your new stuff now. So I look forward, man. I look forward to this, to your music. And you're right about the spirit in music, because today I felt frustrated or something. I went for a walk and I was listening to. It was man, you know, what's his name? Joyner Lucas.
Yo.
I was listening to Devil's Work because it was expressing this frustration I had around someone that passed away. Yeah. But anyway, it made me more angry, and then I had to go and listen to Kirk Franklin. I love it, man.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool, Ty. Because you know, I love it, Ty. You say that because I think sometimes when you said you're a Christian artist now. I think a lot of people are like, okay, I can only sing gospel. It just has to be in the church, only in the four walls of the church and the building. But people need to know. People need to the word out there. It's kind of like you're converting the converted. Ty, songs, but people need to know. Like you said, it is the intent of the heart. At the end of the day, it's the intent of the heart. You go out there, but the message behind it, you know, who you serve, you know who you're serving, and your identity, and who it is that you're talking about, and so. Bro, man, that's pretty cool. Looking forward to it, man. So, any what is there on any time soon, or is it just any launch dates or?
Yeah. So I got Drive out. So Drive was about giving the keys to your life to God, to Jesus, you know, and letting Him take the wheel. So that was Drive. Then I released Never Too Far, talking about God's grace. You know, I think the chorus is never too high, which I was referring to never too high. Never too deep in the game. You know, never too far from His grace. You know, and I'm talking about like there's always today. You know, there's always today. You know.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful. And I guess your whole journey has really shaped you into the work that you're doing now.
Yeah.
With these youngins, you know, where the background where all these kids come through. And have you ever come across a young person you're working with that's like that doesn't recognize who you are, or in terms of your music career? And have you ever gone, did you know who I am? Google me.
No, yeah. So there's heaps, bro.
Oh, that's cool.
I've noticed that these young people, it's more their parents.
Yeah.
So when I come over to their house, I go over to their house to pick them up. You know, the mom comes or the dad comes to the door. They're like, "Oh, Tyree."
Shucks, that must feel different, eh?
I feel old, man.
What's your highlight with working with young people now?
I guess for me, like, you know, it's a way of giving back because, and I sound like a broken record, man. I feel sometimes when I'm talking to kids, and I'm like trying to think of ways that I can get to here, because you know everyone has their way in, you know. There's no formula to it. You can't just go, "Oh, this is going to work." Boom, shoot for the heart. So everyone's different. But I think the beautiful thing is I get to impart, you know, I get to some positivity, you know, the kids that I work with, in the bottom of the barrel, bro, you know, it's a gang member, not present, mum's a crack fiend, or not even the parents in the young person's life, it's the grandparents.
Yeah.
That's a common theme, you know, and so if I can show them a little bit of hope for the little time that I got with them, you know, it's something, you know, that I guess that's the frustrating thing about it is not having enough time with these kids.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty much taking them out of hell for a couple of hours, showing them the light and then going, sorry, bro, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So it's for me, it's like, okay, what can I do in the short amount of time, you know, that's gonna really, you know, make a lasting impression with these, you know, young people. So that's pretty much been the highlight, bro, you know, and seeing some of these kids, you know, hearing their stories, seeing where they come from, and then turning it around, bro, so rewarding, man. And for me, it's like their story is not much different to mine, you know. They come from brokenness.
Yeah.
There's no level of brokenness because these kids only know what they know.
Yeah.
So it's all brokenness.
Yeah.
So it's cool to get alongside them and just lift them up together, you know, just because I understand what they go through and what they've been through. And so it's cool to impart, man. It's cool to get alongside them.
I totally understand because I work in the same space. And I remember in the early days, man, I used to carry a lot of their stuff, like worrying about their reality and wanting to change it for them. And I remember a mentor of mine told me, you can't change their background because they're going to go back to their reality. So you're going to have to give them the skills to survive it.
Yeah, true.
And so that was a game changer for me. It was like, okay, I'm going to equip you. I'm going to give you the tools for you to survive your reality until you can like get out of it yourself and expose them to like a whole different world. Because, you know, when we grow up in the hood, all we know is our four walls. All we know is like our whole world is our hood. It's not until you get exposed to like a different side, it's like, oh shucks, I can do this or be something else. So I just wanna celebrate the work that you're doing now. So it's very different from what you're doing before, and it's just the beginning. And God's got a great calling over your life. And just talking to you, there's this there's this gift of speaking, but also this gift of authority that God's given you. And I think he's going to use all that mess to have this great message for our people, our rangatahi, and for generations to come. And I just want to honor you also. Not tired, you know, having you here is like I'm looking at the Uso Tai, who happens to have done all the stuff, who happens to writes Christian music, because you're just tired, the brother, the Uso, the one who's giving back, the Son of God. So thank you, Uso. Just really blessed. Sorry, I wasn't even supposed to finish, but I was just thought we needed to honor you, Uso.
Appreciate it, Uso. Thank you so much for your kind words, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Ty, that's just, I just reiterate what Charles is saying, bro, because it's just a powerful message. It really is also. But I'm just wondering in terms of the state of the men in Aotearoa right now. What are your thoughts, Ty, in terms of our men, just men in general? What do you think is missing as to why and even more so our Pacific men, why is it that a lot of our men are not? And maybe I'm just generalizing. I don't want to generalize, but what do you think is the missing thing as to why men are not stepping up to the plate or leading or taking charge? What are your thoughts?
I think it just comes back to identity, man. You know, for me, I believe that identity is the biggest piece for a person to walk in their purpose, their true purpose. You know, and there's a lot of men, particularly Pacific Island men, who still don't know who they are, who are still harboring trauma, who still haven't forgiven themselves. So everything that we've spoken about tonight, I believe that's missing. That's what's missing. And I believe that once they start, acknowledging that, yes, there is trauma. Yes, there is self-destruction. There is self-forgiveness that needs to take place, in order to love themselves. And I believe that that's when they'll start stepping up to the plate, Wow. Another thing is, because when we take it back to the identity piece, we look at all these young brothers, Maori, Pacific Islander, that just want to belong. So what do? They go and join a gang. They go and get patched up because they want that sense of belonging. Maybe they didn't have that growing up. They didn't have that loving family. Maybe they're searching for love. So yeah, I think that once you really know who you are, when you, like I said before, when you strip back everything, see, even these patch members, you take away their patch. Who are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because at the moment they're a gang member, right? Okay, then take that away. Who are you, bro? Hey, that's heavy, eh? Like when you really think about that, someone that works all the time, someone that just all he does, just like our fathers, how, back in the day, all they did was work hard. Okay, take that job away. Who are you, Dad? Hey. So I think if we get back, if our men, our Pacific brothers, Maori, if they can discover who they are without anything, take it back to the roots, then I believe that's when they'll start stepping up to the plate and being fathers, bro. Wow. This, Charles, the biggest thing that's missing from the kids that we work with is present fathers.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart, man, that's the common theme. There's no fathers. When there's a good father in the house is solid. Hey, solid as father, happy wife, happy life.
I love that.
Hey, that's what I believe that this whole piece, this whole corridor that we spoke about tonight, man, I hope it helps someone because there's some really good nuggets in there,
Yeah, definitely. Shucks. Well, really conscious of your time also, and I know we could go all night. And hopefully one day when we do get into level 2 or back to normal levels, that we get you in the studio, bro, and we chop it up again.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, I just quickly, like, what is your hope for our men and our young men?
My hope, man, I think it's just to be the father that they weren't, that they didn't have.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. I hope my hope for men is for these boys is just to be the father that their father wasn't to them, to break that generational cycle.
Love that. That's powerful. Pete?
But yeah, man.
Bro. No, I just want to say thank you, Ty. Thank you so much for your time, bro. Man, really encouraging. I think a lot of the times we talk to the other brothers and other men, it's just really encouraging. But this one has just been real. I think because the rawness and because of who you are in terms of the rapping and the celebrity status, Ty, and you can see it, and like you said, and you strip that all away. Really, we're nothing, eh? We're nothing without who we are.
Hard, bro.
Yeah, we had nothing. It was like, bro, we're just all the accolades you can get, all the praises and all the glory we can attain, but we are nothing without, like you said, without the Father, man.
Come on, bro.
So, bro, very powerful tonight. Also, thank you so much, man. Blessings and abundance to you and your whānau.
Thank you.
Man.
When I was thinking about stripping, I feel like when I strip everything off, all I think about is hot chocolate. Just my,
nah,
just
yeah,
give me my nickname.
You're lucky, Ty, because when you strip off your shirt, you got muscles. But when I strip off my shirt, that's why I can't really strip. Like, just have to. Just mentally.
Totally. These guys.
Oh, man.
That's cool. So, is there anyone you want to call out, Us, that you think will be awesome on for our viewers that you would like to see on our show?
Oh, there's heaps, bro. There's heaps. I want to call out Antonio Tusani. He's one of those heroes, bro. He's just a hero. Like bro. You ever met a man that just serves without like expecting anything? Just those good men, Yeah. He's that guy, bro. Selfless as, love it. Like awesome example of how to be a father, a brother. He's just awesome. He's just awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I call out Anthony Tusani.
Awesome. Nah, mean, bro. But as usual, Ty, because we always give a gift to every guest that comes on the show, and so we like to dabble on a bit of art and do a bit of a caricature of you. So I did a bit of a caricature of you, Us. So when, like Charles was saying, when the alert levels go down, Charles and I would love to come and personally give this to you, also. So this is you, Us.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
And so, yes, all the words I've captured, you sharing. So yeah, man. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good, Us. Thank you so much.
Oh no, thank you, bro.
Yeah. But you could have made my body a bit bigger, Nah, man. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. That's beautiful, beautiful art. And bro, I wish I could show you my house, but I'm an art collector.
Oh, hey, bro.
Yeah, so I got heaps of art everywhere. This is a piece where let me just.
Oh, yeah, well, let me know. Let me know, Ty. Yeah, it'd just be cool. I don't know, commission a piece for you, or whatever.
Oh, bro, I would absolutely love some art from you, man.
Oh, awesome, bro.
Oh man, I can't change my screen.
Oh, good.
Let me try and do this.
Yo.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Ooh.
I love that.
I love that kind of abstract and realism art.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's beautiful, man. It's one of these artists from Aotearoa. I forgot her name, but she came over to my house with my uncle.
Wow.
My uncle's an artist, and she brought that over, and it was supposed to be for someone else. And then I said, I'm so sorry, but that's not leaving my house.
That is nice.
Yeah.
You can see the long hair image, but then the natural beauty that's been painted around it.
Yeah, it makes me, feel.
Yeah, I'm trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Interpret the painting. For sure, Ty. Yeah, let me know, and I could commission piece, whatever.
All right, so you're an artist, Luce?
Yeah, because it's one of my pieces at the back here. Because I went to football. Yeah, I love my football. My son and I, we love soccer. Yeah, so this is actually fun. Yeah, but
you are gifted, Luce.
Oh,
gifted son.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Thanks, bro. But yeah, let me know now. But be more than happy to do you one, man.
Please.
Oh, bro. Right, and just before we give you the final words, what is a sentence or phrase of inspiration you want to give our viewers?
Yeah, my one is simple. It's a simple phrase, and you might not get it at first, but it's nothing changes if nothing changes.
Ooh,
that's it. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
That's so true. That's me. I'm writing that down. Nothing changes.
Status.
Yeah, I gonna put it up.
Yeah, put up. I just thought of this quote.
Sickies. We're gonna leave you the final words, Us. Is there any? Yeah, you got the final words, brother.
Yeah, man. first of all, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, brothers. Can't wait to link up with you in person. And hey, remember, refine, unlock, and take charge.
Woo!
Let's go.
Let's go.
Mandate.